Well, what's going on, everyone? My name is Carlos, and today we are going to be test driving a Tesla. And I basically signed up for a test drive because, a few reasons. Number one, I want to know what it's like driving a Tesla. But number two, I'm doing my full-on 2-year review of this car, which I love. And I have a lot of positive things to say about this car. But at the same time, I want some perspective about other cars. I've test driven a Rivian recently, last month. And as much as it was cool to be in like a big, ginormous piece of metal, those SUVs and trucks are like 90, 100 grand. Like, they're not affordable for normal people like me. So I did a test drive. I signed up on their website. It was really simple, really intuitive. In fact, it let me add a pass on my Apple Wallet. So let me go ahead and show you that real quick. I don't know if you can see that for sure, but it's like I have my own, demo drive pass with my name, location, date, and everything like that. And then when you go to the app itself, the Tesla app, it will automatically be like, hey, you are gonna do a test drive. Go ahead and upload your license. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. And there we go. So I guess it's for an hour, which is really long, but on the Tesla app, I don't know if you can see probably the reflection. Hold on, let me turn up the brightness. Hopefully you can see that. So my appointment is at 10 a.m. It is 9:47. I think I'll make it there on time. I just completely missed my turn. I just did not see Tesla at all. Tesla's literally right there. But there's a guy there holding his sign. And I was trying to read the sign. And I completely missed the turn. Officially 10 a.m. So I'm late to my appointment. But I'm sure they'll be cool with it, hopefully. But I passed the guy one more time. Well, I didn't pass him. But on the way back to do the U-turn here, I saw him and I read his sign, and he's not selling used tires. He's actually protesting Elon Musk, which I'm not going to get into politics here, but yeah, good for him. Here in the United States, you have a freedom to protest. So, if that's what he wants to do, he can definitely do it. That's like, I don't have anything, I don't have any problem with that. Whether or not I agree, it's a whole different story, but good for him. I'm proud of him. He's using his rights as a U.S. citizen to protest. But he made me miss my turn, so I'm kind of like angry at him at the same time. Yeah, here's Tesla, yay, on Glenwood. Where the hell do I park? There's a blue Cybertruck. That looks so weird. Should I just park there? I think I'm just gonna park there. All right, so this is my first time driving. There we go. So he explained, hey, look, it's my car. The way the guy explained everything was amazing. There's my car. So don't look at me. So first impression, we didn't really drive. All we did was kind of go over some features. First impression, holy crap, this car has to be ahead of the game by like at least 10 years from everyone. Even Rivian, even when I drove the Rivian and the guy showed me like all the touchscreen features and all that, like even that didn't feel as amazing as this. So I'm almost kind of speechless, to be honest, about this situation. So this is the Model Y that I'm test driving. It is obviously not the refresh version, but it is a Tesla, and that's the main point. That's the only thing I really wanted to focus on, is test driving a Tesla. I'm not too upset that it's not the newer version. Now, I will say, I've already driven this just a little bit, not too far at all. And this is, people are not gonna like what I have to say, but this software has to be 10 years ahead of the game. Like, this software is so incredible that it left me speechless. It really blew my mind. Like, I literally drove to Virginia to test drive a Rivian, and it was a good time. It was cool, but the software was okay. Like, I was just like, all right, cool. It wasn't like impressive. But this right here, this is worth like $1 million. Like, not even exaggerating. I'm just blown away. Like, it's so intuitive. It does exactly what you think it's gonna do. It just works the way you want it to work. And everything's just so Like, this is so Apple-like, it's crazy. And I don't mean Apple today, I mean like Apple from a few, like when they got started, right, with the iPhone and stuff like that. Apple today is kind of disappointing, but beauty and art is all different perspectives. Everybody has their own opinion. But to me, like, I feel like this is ugly, the wood is ugly, the design is kind of ugly. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's just not for me. People may, disagree, and that's okay, because, everyone has different tastes. But for me, it's like too, I don't know, it's just, there's no personality. Like, it's like as if you bought a new house or new apartment and you just never furnish it. You never add anything, and it's always completely empty. Like, that's what it feels like to me. Just an unfurnished, unfinished car. That's how it feels like. But the software is so incredible. So unlocking the door, you press this button here. Yeah, there's no on or off button, which I thought would be weird at first, but now I'm kind of used to it, even though I've only been in and out of this car like once. Like, I think with the car's mid, in my opinion. The car's mid. I don't like the design. I don't like the bubbliness of it. And I did try to go in the trunk just to kind of reference, I am about 6'1", 6'2". When I car camp in my Ioniq 5, I feel like I have a ton of room. Here, it doesn't feel like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and go inside. Feel like, I don't know, I'm trying to record myself, but I just feel like I don't have enough room. I could push this forward a little bit, but I don't know, it doesn't feel, and I guess, I would have to do like the, how many liters is this whole cargo area compared to the Ioniq 5. I think this technically might be bigger because it has more underneath, but it just doesn't feel as big. Like, I can't imagine Lisa and Amanda being here. It just feels a little bit smaller. I don't know if that's just me. But yeah, there's so much storage. Like, there's so much storage in here. Obviously, my Ioniq 5 doesn't have this much storage. In the bottom, I feel like the Ioniq 5 definitely is, or at least it feels bigger. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I am so incredibly impressed with the software, but I still just don't like the way this looks. Like, it's just boring. Like, it doesn't have any personality. And again, this is just my opinion. Let's just go to Walmart real quick. So we're gonna go Walmart, and just like, everything's just so clean and works exactly how you want it to work. And now I'm just gonna show you the self-driving. So there you go. Like, bam, I don't have to do anything. It's just driving on its own. And I know it is supervised, so I'm gonna have my hand on my wheel just in case. But yeah, it's just incredible technology. It really is mind-blowing.
Right onto Glenwood Avenue.
I'm gonna look with it because obviously I don't want to get into an accident. This is just so incredible.
Now turn right onto Glenwood Avenue.
It is a little weird that it's giving me directions even though it's on full self-driving. I feel like it should know that it's on full self-driving. It's nerve-wracking because it's new, right? I'm not dissing on full self-driving. It's just, I'm scared because it's a new thing for me, right? I have not touched the brake. I have not touched the steering wheel or the blinkers or anything. Another thing as well is that when you let go of the acceleration, it comes to a complete stop. I know with the Ioniq 5, how do I put this in park? I know with the Ioniq 5, when you do that, you have to go to iPedal in order for it to do a complete stop. It's just mind-boggling how good this software is, that it's like combined with the car. And you know what sucks is I know there's a million videos of people like having this exact same reaction from 5 years ago, trying to tell us buy a Tesla, but I don't like the design. I really just don't like the design, and I don't like the interior. Everything just works. Everything's just smooth and just works really quickly. And look, you have a software page. Whoa. Incredible. I know we have a software page, but it looks nothing like this. It doesn't look all organized and simple to read. Our software page on the Ioniq 5 is just like awful. You have a service. Oh my god, you have everything you could possibly need here. Glove box. Look how tiny. What are you gonna fit in there? Like, seriously, what are you gonna fit? And it's like, yeah, this is awful. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, there's so many design elements in the interior that I just really don't like. I kind of like this humongous hole. Cup holders are fine. This is not too deep. This is fine. Good enough, right? Good enough. Definitely don't like this. I feel like this should be taken out. And I'm still not used to having something block me because Ioniq 5 is just like cut off from here. But yeah, it's like there's a lot of design elements in the Model Y specifically. Look at these giant wheels. I'm in love. Kind of blown away from my experience with this software. It's just the software. That's all it is. But you know what? I think it's kind of genius. I'm starting to think Elon Musk is a genius because you can sell a crappy car but have the software be incredible. And it's just like, that's such a brilliant idea, right? There's a ton of Cybertrucks here. They all look pretty nice. I don't know. I'm like indifferent about the Cybertruck. Like some days I'm in love, other days I'm like, what the hell were they thinking? And then look at my beauty. Look at this thing. Like this thing has character. Look at it. You can see the curves, you can see the design, just everything about it. Like I just am in love. Like you can see just how it is. And also I'm just gonna go ahead. Like look, it's just, there's so much more personality. I know that sounds kind of lame, but I mean, it's true. It's just like, you know, one thing when you buy a car, because cars aren't cheap. They're not cheap. And look, you just, I don't know, it just feels better. Like, and I have so much more leg room, you know, it's just wider, it's more open. Driving my car, it feels so much nicer. As far as like handling little bumps, it is so much better. The suspension is so much better in this car. Oh, here are the protesters. Yeah, I support you guys for protesting. Maybe not necessarily the cause, but I support you guys for showing your rights to protest. All right, so as you can see, I'm parked next to a Rivian. We have an Audi. We have a Ford F-150 Lightning. Like all these cars, what do they have in common? They have like very specific design cues, right? They all have like the designer, whoever made those cars, like they put a lot of thought, not only thought for like efficiency, but also like the design cues. Like it just looks nice. And then there's a Tesla. It looks exactly like the one I drove, where it's like all they focused on was maybe just aerodynamics and that's it. Like it really does feel like, and no offense to anyone who has a Tesla, it really feels like piece of metal like that's shaped for aerodynamics and that's it. So I'll stop talking about design because I don't know, it's not an ugly, I think I use the word ugly a lot. I don't think that's what I meant. I think it's very basic is what I was trying to say. Just a very basic design. You know, when you look at it, there's nothing memorable about it, right? When you look at the Rivian, the headlights automatically, you kind of like, oh, those headlights, they're memorable. You'll always, whenever you see those headlights, you'll think of a Rivian. Even with the headlights of the Ioniq 5, you know, those pixels, or even the back, it's like you recognize it. And you know, the Cybertruck, obviously, it looks like a giant triangle. So, and the Cybertruck, I think, like I said, some days I think it looks amazing, especially in all black. Other days I'm just like, why did they design a trash can? But like, I'm not a Tesla hater. I'm not. I think if you're gonna buy a Tesla, you're buying it for the software. You're buying it for self-driving. You're buying it because you know the software is gonna last you forever. So I have nothing particularly bad to say about Tesla. It's just the way Teslas look, I'm just like, it just doesn't do it for me. It really doesn't. Like I said, I think the best way I can describe it is like buying an apartment or a home with no furnishing, and you just kind of leave it like that. You're like, yeah, this is just the way I'm gonna live now. And again, like just taking cues off this, right? You have a very unique door handle here. The fabric here is very unique compared to like the fabric here, which is, you know, a little more softer over here. Like everything just kind of, I don't know, just all kind of puts together. Like everything's just kind of put together. And a Tesla just feels like an empty car with a tablet in the middle. Everybody has the right to drive whatever they like. You can disagree with me in the comments. You can tell me you're gonna go buy 5 Teslas now, and that's fine. Like, buy what you like. At the end of the day, like I said, I'm more blown away about the software inside the car and what it can do more than the actual car itself. Like, I'm not really impressed. And literally, I took the same highway that I test drove with the Ioniq 5 right now, and it feels so much smoother in the Ioniq 5. Like, it feels really smooth. In the Model Y, I could definitely feel a lot more of those bumps. In the Ioniq 5, I do not feel those bumps as much. And again, I feel like I have more room in the back. I don't know, I feel like I do, because I mean, I slept here the other day. Buy what you want to buy. I'm not telling you here to protest or not buy Tesla or anything like that. We're not going to get into politics. And that's my thoughts.